AlabamaNewsNow.com podcast. My name is David Preston. I'm the host of these podcasts and the founder and editor of the news site, AlabamaNewsNow.com. I am pleased to be joined by Republican candidate for the U.S. Senate seat from the state of Alabama, former Auburn head football coach, Tommy Tuverville. Welcome, Coach Tuberville.
Good morning. How are you?
I am doing good. Introduce yourself to anybody that's listening that may not know who you are and why you're running for the Senate.
Well, Tommy Tuverville, former football coach at Auburn and several other places, live in Auburn, Alabama, Christian conservative Republican. I've been in coaching and education for 40 years, and after about 30 years, the last 10 years, I saw how our country was declining in education and a lot of other areas, and I didn't serve in the military. My dad was a military hero. He died on active duty of a massive heart attack after fighting in World War II. He died at 53. So I told my wife a few years ago I want to get back, and this is what I want to do. I want to work for the state of Alabama in this country and be a voice for them. I'm donating my salary to the veterans of the state under the name of my dad in his memory, and I feel like I'm well qualified because I understand the problems that we're going through in this country because I've been out on the front lines. So excited about the last year and a half of campaigning. It's gone well. We've managed to win basically two political races, and now have 90 days to this one, and looking forward to the challenge.
In football speak, you're undefeated in political football games, huh?
That's right, and you take them one at a time, and you just put everything into it you can. And, people ask me, why do you think that being a football coach makes you qualified to be a senator? And as I tell people, we need leadership. We need people that are from different jobs, citizen legislators, somebody that really wants to do it for the right reasons. I want to go up and help. I'm a true believer in this country, and I think, as you talk about football, gives you that opportunity to understand your state and your country and the people in it, and how we need help and what we need to do to continue the long length of our country's birthday at 244 years ago, and continue to go by the Constitution and make people more believers in the right way to get it done.
And to that end, it sounds like from the news that kind of broke this morning that you are understanding the state and the people in the state, because they're responding, at least according to Morning Consult, that they're responding well to your campaign. That breaking news this morning that you had some positive poll numbers come out.
Yeah, it's like school board. During football, I very seldom looked up the scoreboard because it really doesn't make any difference until the final gun sounds. I think we're getting close to getting into the fourth quarter with this campaign being a year and a half. Now, after going through the primary and the runoff, going into the general election, it's totally different, because in a primary, you run against basically it's brother versus brother, people that believe in a lot of things you believe in, kind of on the same side. It's kind of like practicing, but now this is a real game. We're going against a Democrat, somebody that believes totally different than what I believe in, and I think most people in this state, the majority of people in the state of Alabama, believe. And so I think that because of that, we've got a lot of people on our side. We're leading in the race, but again, I want to continue to sell my plan for the people of the state, not just Republicans, not just Democrats, but everybody. I'm a true believer that we're all in this together, and for us to make it as a society for 244 years, we've all got to come closer together, not farther apart like's happening as we speak. So my job is to go out and explain what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and the answers to have a lot of the questions that I'll put forth once I go to Washington, D.C. to represent the people of the state.
And obviously your plan and your vision for the state and the country is different than the current office holders, because if it wasn't, you probably wouldn't be running against him. So what is your thoughts on the performance of current Senator Doug Jones, and how would you be different as a senator once you're elected?
Well, you know what? I noticed when he got elected, his first vote was to vote for Chuck Schumer as majority leader of the Senate, or minority leader of the Senate, and Chuck Schumer's been up there a long time, and there's not much that he believes that I believe, and Doug Jones has pretty much been a follower of the Democrat Party or the whatever party they are now. They've gone so far left. He's been a voice for the party, not for the state. I noticed that very quickly with Kavanaugh. The majority of the people in the state of Alabama wanted Kavanaugh confirmed. Most of the people in this state wanted President Trump not to be impeached, and Doug Jones voted to impeach him. He's a party line guy, and we don't need that in Washington, D.C. We need people that are going to speak for the people of their state. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a voice for the people of Alabama, not a voice for any party, any belief. You are there to represent your state and your people. And so that's why I'm running. I think that we've got a huge opportunity to get the best president reelected that's been in my lifetime. Has he made mistakes? Sure. But most of the time he's been right. He's an outsider. He's a businessman. He got our economy going back as strong as I've ever seen it before this pandemic. Now he's been fighting people from all sides, plus this pandemic. And I tell you, I think he's done a good job. It's hard to fight an unseen enemy. But that being said, we've got to have voices for the people of this country, the working people, the people that pay the taxes. You hear a lot of time, well, this is a government subsidy. The government has nothing to do with it. It is a taxpayer money that's going to pay for all this stuff that we're doing. And the people of this country, the taxpayer, the people that pay the money, taxes, and send it to the federal government, have to have a voice. And that's the reason I want to be a voice for those people that pay the taxes.
One of those sides that the president's been fighting has been the People's Republic of China, the Communist Party of China, and he's been quite tough on them on trade and security issues and internet like TikTok and Huawei. Would you stand with the president, and how would you help him fight against the negative influences China is trying to influence this country with?
Well, the problem with politics is we kick the can down the road. We don't make tough decisions. And we haven't done it for years. For some reason, back in Bill Clinton's term, and I think it was May of 2000, our Congress voted to make them a friendly country. In other words, give them the opportunity to take in any manufacturing they wanted from the United States. And boy, did we let them go. We sold out to cheap labor. And it has really hurt this country, especially states like Alabama, where you have a lot of rural areas where we lost our manufacturing, our small plants. They left, and now our kids have nothing to do. There's no jobs. And so President Trump comes in, and you knew from his campaigning before 2016 election that was one of his main priorities, and it was. And he come in, and he didn't disappoint us. He went right after China with the tariffs. He dropped NAFTA. He did everything he possibly could to get manufacturing back in this country. And what it do? It stirred up a hornet's nest, and that's fine. It had to be stirred up sooner or later, or we were going to give everything that we've had in this country, everything, to China. Their economy is booming, but it's going to boom because they have the ability to take all the money in the country. Their people live in poverty. Most of them do. And so President Trump is right. We have to fight back in terms of getting our economy back here. Huawei is a spying machine. It's 5G. For some reason, our technology is behind. We've got to get our technology where we can become 5G. I don't know how many years we're behind, but we are behind. Technology is going to run this world. It's running it as we speak. But we can get it done. We're the smartest. We're the best country on the face of this earth ever. And people in our country live free. And we want to continue that to happen. But we need to get back in the game with China. And President Trump has got us back in the game. And we need to continue to fight for that.
Do you support the moves that he's making with TikTok? I know that he had last week said that he was considering banning the use of TikTok in the United States, and then he kind of, after negotiations with TikTok and Microsoft, said, "Well, let's see how a deal between Microsoft, a U.S.-based company, and TikTok would work before we move forward." Do you support what he's doing with TikTok, and if so, why?
Well, he's fighting intellectual property theft. If you just look at TikTok servers are in China. Everything that our people put on TikTok here goes straight to China. Addresses, face identification, any kind of information that you can get off individuals here goes to China. It gives them a leg up. And so President Trump's job is to protect the people of this country, protect not just the people, but his property. And he's fought intellectual property theft since he's been in for going on almost 4 years, and that's what he sees with TikTok. Now, there's a lot of other things. That's just one of them. And so I'm just glad that we've got a president that will fight back. You got people on the left that will give. Actually, Joe Biden, he will give China anything they want, and it's going to sell out our jobs. It's going to sell out our young people because they're not going to have jobs here in the future. We've become a service country and not a manufacturing country. We've got to get it back to a manufacturing country where our kids have good jobs, not just jobs. And so President Trump's fighting for the people of this country. And because of that, he started with TikTok. He went after them. I think it's the right move. There's going to have to be a lot of other moves in the next probably decade to get China back in their place. It's a start. But again, nobody's ever fought against China like President Trump. The Democratic left not going to do that. They will not fight China. They will give in, and we're going to lose millions of jobs and millions and trillions of dollars in our economy if we continue to give China what they want and not fight back at them.
In the last few minutes we have here, what are your thoughts on how the federal government and the state government at the state level here in Alabama have responded to and fought the coronavirus pandemic?
I'm a football coach all my life. I always second guess everybody on something new. This is totally new for this country. It's a pandemic that it is unseen. We had no clue how to move on from it. I think we've made some good moves. I think that we've gotten a lot of bad facts from the people in our health departments. We've got some good facts over the last 4, 5, 6 months. It's just been so much confusion of how we should go about it, what we should do. Everybody points at President Trump. Obviously, he's the president of the United States, and he's going to get the final blame because he is a president. But he is not a doctor. He has got to lean on his people up there to make sure they give them the right information. Now, he did stop the flow of China people coming in, in 10, 15 days before everybody else wanted to stop because he saw the emergency of it and the spread of it. But, it's hard to say whether we're right or wrong. I think the big thing about this is we got to start fighting back. Nobody really knows how long it's going to be here. This thing could be here 3 years, and everybody's saying, well, we just got to hunker down and let this thing pass us by. Well, who knows how long it's going to be here? We can't shut this economy down any longer. We got to get our kids back to school, but we've got to be protected. We got to protect our elderly, people that have underlying conditions. We've got to learn from this every day. We got to wash our hands. We got to wear masks. We got to do everything we possibly can to keep it away from people that it's really, really going to affect. But are we doing the right thing? Who knows? We will find out day by day of how we're doing. It's just, it's hard to fight something you can't see, nor do you know a lot about.
Coach, is there anything else you'd like to say to the listeners before we wrap up here?
No, it's been, I've really enjoyed the last year and a half. I tell people it's the hardest thing I've ever done because I've done it right. I knew I had a lot of name recognition, but I wanted the people across the state of Alabama to really understand who I am and why I'm doing this and hear my points and my policies. And I have been everywhere, and I haven't stopped. I'm traveling again today. I'll do it again for the next 90 days. And as I tell people, I just think we need people that are not politicians in Washington, D.C., people that actually have jobs to make decisions and help make decisions for the people of their state. from experience and not from reading a book. And so it's been good to this point. We don't take anything for granted. We're just going to work hard. We're going to talk to the people of the state, and we're going to try to get this country and the state back on track after this pandemic.
Thank you for joining us, Coach.
Thank you. God bless.
You too.